Howdy peeps, and welcome back again. I think this might be part 7. I'm kind of losing track as I'm filming this fairly rapidly, and yeah. Anyway, this time what I think we'll probably end up doing is well he says we should be getting the fuselage and wings together, the tail planes on, the exhaust in, cowling on, and maybe the rudder and ailerons as well if we're lucky. So let's get started. Here's how we left it last time. The various bits all there. I'll just pop. Oh dear, it gets me every time. I look up to switch that light on, and then I'm looking straight at the light when it comes on. Let me just get my vision back. Right, there we go. So first thing is the exhausts go in. I'm assuming they stick out a little further than that. I would have assumed so anyway. Let's look on this side. See where they want to go. Nope, that is as far as they stick out. Right. Just clearing the fuselage. That's probably more aerodynamic. Definitely going to end up with a lot of soot and muck down the sides of the fuselage though. Should have to remember to paint that in. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be angled up at 45 degrees though. Fairly certain they're supposed to come out horizontally. More like that. What's gone wrong there? I've got a feeling it's this part on the end isn't quite in the right position. Not sure. It appears to be. Let's pop it off. Try without it. Let's see. Yeah, that looks better. I'll glue them in like that. Hopefully it won't cause any fit problems with the upper surfaces, with the cowling covers. Definitely nearer the horizontal anyway. That's better. And then you grab it by the side of the fuselage with the wet glue on, and you knock the exhaust clean out again. We're okay. So glue there, glue along there. And sorted. They're in. So next is the cowling covers. 2 pieces. I'm not entirely sure why you would make it a 2-piece cowling cover, but hey. To me, you're just introducing a seam where you don't need one, but we shall find out. There must be a reason. Might be just in case the fuselage holes don't quite line up correctly. Captain Fumble Fingers. And there we go. Just hold it in place for a few seconds for the glue to take and leave it. That's why you've got to be careful. Gluey thumbprint. I can show how we deal with those. That's not too big of an issue. We just lose a bit of fastener detail, but hey, it's not the end of the world. That in. And run a bit of extra thin down the seam as well. Check we're lined up both sides. Yep. And that's the cowling on. Now the scariest join on any aeroplane. Will the fuselage fit the wings? And it's going to be a tight one. Fits on the wing roots, and the underneath doesn't look too bad either. So we'll run some glue down the ring, down the the roots. And just give that a little press. Nope, stay. Right, so hold it like that for a few seconds. Bit of glue just down the front. We'll clamp that. Well, we'll try to clamp it. It's quite small. There we go. That's that side in. As we can see, we've popped the top fuselage joint a little, but that'll be easy enough to see to. Certainly easier than some of these underside or convex curves and complex curves to stick together. Oh yeah. And just a little along there. And another clampy on this side. Just to make sure. And we are going to end up with a slight gap there, but that's just a minor problem. We'll stick another clamp on it for now. And we pop that to one side to let the glue cure, which means we can start popping together the tail planes. Yay, it's starting to look like a hairy plane. 74 and 79. Nope, not that sprue. Right. So that one's 74. Oh. Trying to grab this in such a way that I don't just drop the parts clean onto the floor straight away. Oh. Sometimes sprues are easier to get hold of than others. So that's one side, the other side is 73 and 80. Right. I think there's parts on there for at least 2 different types of tail. So we'll just nip off the excess ejector pin stubs, keeping each side separate so we know which is which. And then wee slurp. Yeah. When it comes to bits not fitting correctly or being slightly out, i.e. with, let's say, with the way the top fuselage joint has popped there. Now, some will all too quickly jump and say the kit is rubbish or there's something wrong with it. There isn't. Could easily be something I've done. It could easily be the moulds are getting old or whatever. It's not a difficult problem to fix. You just get on and fix it. And in my book, that's where you improve your modelling skills or your construction or assembly skills. If everything went together perfectly and easily, it'd get boring. It's nice to have a little bit of a challenge every once in a while. Right, so let's pop these on. Actually hold it that way around, and I'm more than happy with that fit. So there are so many vagaries when it comes to designing a sprue and a model. When it comes down to fitment, you can't necessarily always get it, a manufacturer, sorry, always can't get it to, a 100th of a millimetre or a 1,000th of an inch accurate. Because you've got to allow for the cooling rates of the various moulds. Because if you're shooting 100 sprues, by the time you do the 100th sprue, that sprue's mould is going to be warmer. It's going to have expanded slightly, and therefore the parts are going to be slightly larger. You know? It's something no one can really do anything about. Right, tail plane's on, and it looks like a job for sprue goo. Just along the top of this nose where it's split, I will use sprue goo. For the rest of the top and the bottom seams, I will use a normal putty. Now, sprue goo does take a while to go off, and if you're not sure what sprue goo is, I'll show you. Find the right pot. This is my leftover Tamiya extra thin, and all I've done is I've dissolved sprue in it. So chopped up sprues, dropped them in there, stirred them around. I think it actually needs a bit more sprue in it personally. Yeah, it does. It's looking a bit thin at the moment, so let's find a sprue. That one will do. The one that we made the wings out of. So the wings came on. So I'll just chop a length of sprue off. That'll do. And even not so much with a plain kit, but if you're building especially a dragon kit, if you save up all the little sprue pips you get where you cut off the ejector pin pads, they're perfect for making sprue goo with. Literally with just old pair of choppers, and we just add some extra, and that one missed. Add some more styrene to the pot to thicken the mix. Oh, that's getting a bit thick. Right. Obviously the smaller you can make it, the quicker it dissolves. Now this won't dry in a matter of minutes. It's not a 15 minutes come back and sand it. It's a minimum overnight. Depends how thickly you put it on. The more you put on, the longer it takes to dry. And if you use it for a really big gap, it can take a few days to go off, which is not fun, but it's easy to rescribe because it's the same material as the plastic. Sands exactly the same, doesn't chip. Oh, come on. Helps if you actually chop it in the choppy part of the choppers. There we go. So the one downside is the drying time. The upside is you're filling the gap, hole, whatever it may be, with the same substance that the rest of the model is made from. So, you know, anything you would normally do, it's going to take paint exactly the same way. It's going to scribe exactly the same way, it will sand the same, everything. So we just get a bit on the brush. And that actually, I might just put a little shimmer of styrene in that as well. Let's see if I can find a piece that I can get to without wrecking the joint. There we go. Oh, crash, bang, wallop. No, I wrecked the joint. Right. So we just grab a little piece of styrene. This is just sheet evergreen. And we trim it to size. So, back the aileron. And position it with our tweezers. And again, we're filling the gap with the same material the kit's made from. So, where's my marker? Where's a marking device? Oh, let's do it the easy way. Snip. So we'll just pop that in. So it's held in place. Glue it in with extra thin. And again, don't be stingy on the glue because we are trying to weld it here. Now then, now's a good time to have a look and see where we've got gaps. We've got a couple of slight ones up the front there. Have we got a step on the wing? We do, but that's just pressed in, so that's okay. And we have a slight gap back here. Can I get some more styrene in that? No, not quite. Ooh, just about. So again, these gaps, nothing to worry about. Easy to fix, not a problem. Just trim off the excess styrene that we don't need in there. And a bit more glue down that seam because that one hasn't glued, or may well have just completely missed it. You just hold that for a few seconds. I think, as I say, obviously we're going to have to do something all the way down the top and just down the bottom here. Now that will probably just clear up with a quick file or sanding. So I shall grab my 800 grit sander. Because we don't want to take too much material off if we don't need to. And this will show us where we got any gaps, high points, low points, the works. So you can see this side is slightly higher here, but it does level out as we go back. So we just as that is a fair old step, I'll just give it a go over with a coarser sander. Just removes the material faster. And go back over it with the finer sander in the opposite direction to get rid of any scratches, and run our finger across, get rid of the excess dust, and job done. Although I do have a funny feeling if I get the back of my knife, or in this case saw blade, and run it down there, I think there was a gap. Yeah, there is, along here. So we still need to do a bit of filling, but just using the back of either the back of the point of your knife or whatever you choose to use, just clean the excess sanding dust out of the seam lines. I'm also basically rescribing that one as well. So that's that cleaned up. Now another favoured kind of filler, well, of mine's, some people swear by it, some people swear at it, but it's good to have different fillers for different jobs. And this is the Vallejo plastic putty. So that one, obviously just an old bottle, and it's not really suitable for large filling jobs if you've actually got a big gap, because it will chip. It's not the most robust of fillers, but things where you're just sorting out a slight seam line, or you've got a tiny little gap, is perfect. Well, it's not perfect, it does the job. You may be thinking he's left himself a lot of sanding to do there, but I'm not quite done yet. Because now what I do is I get my seemingly ubiquitous clay shaping tool that I use for all sorts of things, just dampen it off a little, because it's water-based putty. We can then remove the excess quite easily. And this will just leave the putty in the gap where we want it. So I'm just wiping the excess off of the clay shaper as I go. And there we go. That'll be nice and easy to sand when it dries, because there's not too much on there, and it will probably come off with just a buffer rather than an actual sander. Now for this nose seam down here, I can feel there is a slight ridge, and I'll sort that out next time. We're up to the half hour. So next time, more filling, more sanding, more seam checking, and possibly finish the tail off. I think it's the wing tips and flaps and, well, yep, and then the underside cowling and all the intakes etc. under the wings. So Thank you for watching. If you wanna, no, if you're not already subscribed, please feel free to. I never say no to a subscriber, or a review, or a like, or. But if you don't, you don't. It's up to you. Anyway, enjoy your modelling. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye.